Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Laura Afonso. I am your host here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center for GoLocal Prov. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to everyone out there who is watching today. We are really geared up to eat some good, hearty food for tomorrow. I am just like saving my appetite. I'm getting ready for the feast. So my first guest today, Milena from Rebelle Artisan Bagels. Thank you so much for joining.
Nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
We're glad to have you. Now, before we really get started talking about all of your bagels and baked goods, I really want to hear about yourself because I think that you have a really interesting backstory that led you here. So tell me a little bit about your own background and how that led to Rebelle.
All right, so I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came to New England to go to MIT for chemical engineering.
Wow.
So I am not a trained baker at all. I'm very completely self-taught. I did my chemical engineering at MIT, decided I didn't really want to practice in the field. It's kind of like one of those hard hat, steel-toed boots kind of job.
Definitely.
Which wasn't my vibe. So I did a little bit of office work here and there, worked for a few local big companies. And then I decided the corporate life wasn't for me. So when I thought about my next move, I started thinking back to my youth. Not that I'm old, but like
reflecting back.
And I realized like I have always enjoyed working with food. I enjoyed creative pursuits, working with my hands, nourishing people.
Definitely.
So I started looking around the local market, and I realized no one was really doing bagels the way that I was envisioning it. So I wanted like a really creative approach to making bagels, everything done from scratch by hand, very creative spreads, kind of pushing the limits in people's imagination of what a bagel could be. And so I just started experimenting in my kitchen, and the rest is history.
Wow. So that's a great story because I love hearing these, young folks who, maybe have a corporate job or who are using their degree, but maybe it's just not exactly the right fit, and so you're able to pursue something that you actually have a passion for.
Absolutely.
And it really shines through because when you're actually, committing yourself to something that you're really interested in, you're really invested in, the outcome is amazing, and that's a very clear case here with you.
Yep.
Yes. So when did Rebelle open?
So we opened our doors for the storefront on August 12th of 2017. So we're a little over a year old.
That's amazing.
Yes, we've come such a long way since we opened. It's kind of wild. It's like, I bet it's the feeling that parents get when they see their kids grow up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm seeing like my store grow
You're like, I've raised you into this beautiful being.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Really blossoming into something beautiful. Prior to opening the storefront, we were operating as a pop-up for about like 8 months.
Okay. So you're able to go to farmers markets, get people tasting your bagels, and once they get the taste, then they're like, oh, I have got to come back for more of these.
Oh, absolutely. It was such a good move, like, in terms of marketing and setting up a business. Starting as a pop-up really allows you to build your customer base.
Definitely.
So that when you open your doors on day one, like, it's not crickets. You actually have people coming in.
Yeah. You're kind of doing the legwork for yourself.
Absolutely.
So you're really getting your name out there. You're giving people a little bit of a taste. So that way, when you're ready to open those doors, they're coming to knock on it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So if you haven't been to Rebelle, we're on Camp Street, correct?
Yeah, it's Camp and Doyle on the east side.
Great location.
Yep.
Yeah. So very nice space, very welcoming, bright, colorful, and lots and lots of bagels. So the smell is definitely going to get you too.
It's intoxicating. You can when I pull up in the morning, like I don't do the early morning bake anymore. But when I come in around 6, they're like in the middle of it. And the smell when my car pulls up, oh, it's wild. Like it just emanates from the corner.
Yes. Incredible. Now, a big part of your mission is using local ingredients and using tradition. So if you could tell me where you are getting the ingredients to make your products from.
Yeah. So some of the biggest components are like flour. We use produce, dairy, that kind of thing. Our flour, like our wheat flour, we use King Arthur out of Vermont.
Great.
And for rye, which goes into our pumpernickel, we recently switched over to Main Grains, which is basically like a flour startup out
Cool.
of Maine that works with local New England grain growers. So it's completely like maintaining everything in the New England ecosystem.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but we really believe in paying a premium to support local farmers whenever we can.
Definitely.
Our fish is purchased locally as well for our lox, our cured salmon. We work with like a fishmonger out of Narragansett. We sometimes buy from local farmers such as like Moonrose Farm out of Cranston by Melissa Denmark from Ellie's and Gracie's.
Great.
And we also support other local business owners, particularly women. We support the Nitro Cart for a Nitro Cold Brew, Chi Kitchen Kimchi, which we use as a topping on our sandwiches. We use local sauerkraut as well. What else? We use locally roasted coffee from Borealis, which is roasted just 5 miles away from our store. We actually bring it in, like from roast to cup, it takes less than a week.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really wild. You're never going to have stale coffee at our shop.
No, it's always going to be fresh.
Yep, so whenever we can, it's not super practical to source everything locally, but as much as we can, we do.
As much as you can, absolutely. And that's a big part of being a business, a small business, especially in Rhode Island, is like you said, working with those other businesses, locally owned, women-run, small businesses that are able to help support each other.
Yep.
Which is fantastic.
Yep.
Now, in terms of tradition and using maybe a recipe or however you go about making it, that's a big part of it too. And I think that it's interesting that you have chemical engineering as a background because I find that whenever I'm cooking, you can throw a little extra butter or like a little extra garlic and it's fine. It comes out normal. But if you're baking, it's a whole different story because it's so much chemistry and the way that different ingredients are going to interact with each other and like timing and everything. So it's interesting that you have that background and you're able to kind of apply it here.
Yeah.
So what kind of traditions do you use in making the bagels and how long did it take you to find your bagel recipe? Because it's a really good one.
It's really good. So the way we incorporate the tradition, I did a lot of reading to figure out like what methods were used. In the old days, we're talking like, before the 1950s and the revolution of the frozen bagel. But what methods were used, how were they rolled, how long was the dough proofed for, like how did you boil it, etc. So that's kind of how we landed at the base recipe. We roll all of our bagels by hand. So sometimes we have days when we're making like 1,400 bagels.
Oh my goodness.
There's one person who's rolling all of the bagels for that day. One person.
Oh my gosh. Like,
sometimes two if we're lucky.
Gets up in the morning is like, time to make 1,300 bagels
we're
today.
all like mad.
I guess I would not be surprised.
But the science element is really, really integral to what we do. A lot of bakers approach it as an art. So they develop an intuition about their dough. It's kind of like becoming one with your dough, which we certainly learn over time. But having like a scientific background helps us develop that much faster.
To a T, like you get really specific with it.
Yeah, so if your dough is like overproofing or it's not rising, then you can kind of go through a list very methodically and say like, what temperature did we proof it at? Like, how long did we proof it for? What was our hydration? And you just land on like what went wrong really quickly. So we're able to iterate and learn from our mistakes much, much faster.
Absolutely. Now, can you tell me, when you say proofing, what exactly does that mean? So
proofing is when you let the dough rise. So when you're making bread, you're mixing your flour, your water, your yeast, salt. Depending on the recipe that we're working with, we throw a few extra things in. And then you let that sit for the yeast to start growing, and they basically just poop out air. They like fart inside the dough, and that's how the dough gets big, and that's what we call proofing.
Okay, cool. So for those of us, I've never made a bagel in my life, and I don't know if it would come out very good. So that would be a word that I would need to add to my vocabulary should I ever want to make bagels. But now I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
that's so
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, so that's a big part of the process. Now, you're making in-house 1,400 bagels.
Yes.
And that is crazy because I see that you sell out all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but I see it.
Yeah, but we sell out fairly often. It's very tricky to like forecast demand.
Definitely.
We actually, so I'm kind of a math nerd.
Sure.
And I have like looked at all of our sales data over time, married it up with weather data, holidays, etc.
So many different things that come into play that
so
you have
there's
to
like
look
a
at,
correlation with the weather, which is really strange.
Of course.
But like you can only predict so much. So sometimes we do sell out. And part of our mission, like we try not to waste food. We think
That's
there's just
huge.
something really horrible about producing a lot of food waste and like overproducing bagels to make sure that, you know, that there's like a lot left should people come, and then having to deal with food waste at the end of the day is something we want to avoid.
Absolutely.
So we like try to get it as close as possible. I would say 90% of the time we nail it.
Definitely.
And then the rest of the time is like, you know, the kind of moments that you talk about when we're sold out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have it really down to a science at this point.
For the most part.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Of course. Now, you don't stop at bagels. You do baked goods in-house. You
Yes.
do breakfast sandwiches on those bagels. And you do house-made
We do sandwiches.
spreads.
Yeah, we do our spreads. We do sandwiches. We do house-made pickles. We make deli salads. We make granola. Anything that is breakfast or breakfasty
Related.
Yeah, we try to make, and our approach is to make everything in-house. Like
Definitely.
literally, even our mayonnaise, we don't touch like the
Hellmann's,
stuff.
you're not getting it.
No, we go to the store and we see the giant jars, and there's something about like the idea of dipping into
Scooping
it.
it.
Yeah,
You're like, I can do this better.
No, we make like the most beautiful, creamy, delicious mayonnaise, fresh, like right before it goes into the salads.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. So what kind of things are you putting on your breakfast sandwiches? I see pictures of them, and they literally look like a sandwich of the gods. They're colorful. They're like overflowing. So you're not just getting some like wimpy, soggy bagel with like a little bit of cream cheese. And you guys are doing incredible things.
Yeah. So, I mean, we take a lot of pride in our egg sandwiches. I wanna offer the classics. You know, people come in and ask for like a bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. We do that, but we try to take it to the next level. Our sausage, like our breakfast sausage, we make it in house. So it's our own recipe with like fennel, brown sugar, a little bit of spicy, black pepper. Like it just hits all the right notes. And then we take like a few kind of experimental approaches as well. We have like a veggie frittata. If you're trying to stay healthy or like want to jazz up your breakfast, that one has spinach, red pepper, onions. And then for the month of November, which is like the end is around the corner.
I know, I can't believe it's already almost done.
I know. So for the month of November, we have a sandwich that we're calling the Spanish tortilla sandwich.
Ooh.
So have you ever had a Spanish tortilla?
I believe I have.
Yeah, it's like the egg with the potato and onion inside.
Yep.
So we're doing that, and then we do Spanish chorizo, so it's the cured stuff, like sliced real thin, with some manchego cheese.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how we're trying to take like the egg sandwich to a whole nother level. So when people come in, they're just like, I didn't even know you could do this for breakfast, which is the feeling that we want.
You're thinking outside of the box.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And I saw that you guys will make soups. You're doing all kinds of things in-house.
Yes, people come in and ask us, like, hey, why don't you have soups? Why don't you have salads? Why don't you have this? And we're like, okay, I hear your challenge.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. If enough people ask for it and there's a demand in the market for it, we're down to do it.
Definitely.
Like, we're down to please our customers.
Yes. So for baked goods, I see all sorts of savory, like monkey breads and muffins and cookies, and they just look incredible. Do you have a favorite that you like to make? Or I guess eat?
I love our cookies.
The cookies.
Yes. We have one that we call the junk cookie.
Oh my God.
And that one just kind of came to me like in a dream.
We're dreaming of cookies. Not bagels, but cookies.
I know. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, I
You
got it.
have to keep a little a pad next to your bed to write down all of these dreamy cookies.
Yes. So the junk cookie has chocolate chips, marshmallows, which just melt into the dough. It gets gooey because we like underbake the cookies just a little bit. So you get like a little toasty, a little gooey.
Yes.
And it has cornflakes, and then what we do is we roll cornflakes.
Oh my God, so crispy, like
gooey, so
chocolatey.
like the outside of the cookie is completely crusted in cornflakes, and then the middle is ooey gooey. Just, I love textures.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's a beautiful like
and
texture
it's, like,
play.
soft and warm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
I'm hooked. Sign me up. Sign me up. Yeah.
I'll hook you up next time you come in.
Yes. And now I think that you guys do a really great thing with your spreads too, because you're not just doing like regular like veggie cream cheese and like plain and all that.
Yeah, we don't have veggie cream cheese.
No veggie cream cheese.
No veggie cream cheese.
Because you guys are doing like a whole other option. You have like beet and all sorts of things. Can you tell me a little bit about the process and like what kind of flavors you have for cream cheese?
Yeah, so when I first conceptualized the idea for Rebelle, that was one of like the key ideas that we're going to take the spreads as a vehicle to showcase really interesting, unique global flavors. Definitely. So we rotate our spread selection every 3 months. Nice. So it kind of flows with the seasons. As much as we can, we incorporate seasonal produce. But right now we have really interesting flavors. Like we have a preserved lemon and parsley. Wow. And a lot of people are like, I don't even know what preserved lemon is. And we're like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, we're going to try something new.
Exactly. We're stretching people's like palates. We're trying to bring them outside of their comfort zone. Definitely. And at the end of the day, like it's such a low stakes game. It's a bagel and cream cheese.
So if you don't like it, you're not, paying a $30 entree. It's just a little breakfast.
Just try it out. Like it's a fun way to jazz up your breakfast. We've done the beet dill and horseradish cream cheese has been super popular in the past. Right now we have a maple and sea salt cream cheese that's to die for. Wow. Heavenly.
A little sweetness.
Yep. We've done harissa, which is like a Middle Eastern hot pepper paste, kind of like a sriracha of the Middle East.
Spice.
Yep. So we just take all these interesting flavors and put them on cream cheese, and people are just like very curious about what we do.
I can see why. Well, you're always getting new flavors, interesting things coming up, so everyone probably wants to try what's new.
Yeah.
Yes. And now, I have to tell you a secret.
Yeah.
Bagel with smoked salmon is one of, I would say it's like top 3 of my favorite foods in the world. I go crazy for it.
I eat so much like lox.
Love it. Like I can't find anything that's better than that. For like an ideal breakfast, smoked salmon on a bagel with cream cheese. It's just the best.
It is
now,
heaven.
you guys are actually, you're getting fresh fish.
Yes.
And you're curing it in-house.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we do everything short of like, like hooking and killing the fish.
We let them handle that part.
Yeah, they handle that, but we get fresh whole Atlantic salmon twice a week. And as soon as it comes in, like it hits the table, we fillet it, we put our cure on it. We do 2 different kinds. We have a dill crusted one, and then we do one with pastrami spice. Wow. So it's kind of like peppery, a little coriander, like it's got some kind of interesting flavors going on. And we cure it for about a week, and then we slice it always by hand, fresh, very, very, very thin. So we have special knives only for that.
Salmon, yes.
Yep. And then we like slice it and it gets served the day of, and that's it.
That is incredible.
Yep, super fresh.
Yeah, so that's how you get a really, really good bagel with lox.
Yep, I don't think anyone around here is doing that. Actually, like when I started the business, I talked to the Department of Health because I wanted to source locally like smoked lox. And they were like, we don't have anybody in our database who does local lox.
You're like, oh, well, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, I was like, well, looks like I got to do it.
Yeah, I'll step up to the plate for sure.
Yeah, and so, again, it's one of those things that we learned our own, just like doing a lot of reading, experimenting. But it's beautiful. It's silky, smooth, fatty, salty. It's heaven.
It checks all the boxes.
Yes.
It's really amazing. Yes. Now, we know Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I'm sure you guys probably had a full house today.
It was crazy.
You guys are doing a little bit of everything. You had pies, buns, cinnamon rolls.
Yep.
So what was flying off the shelves? Everything, I assume, but...
Yeah, so this was the first time ever that we've made full-sized pies.
Wow.
That was kind of a leap of faith.
Yeah.
We were thinking, like, no one's going to come to a bagel shop to buy pie. We sold out of all of our pies. Yeah, we saved this one as a sample. This is our maple pumpkin pie.
Beautiful.
So everything that we try to do, we try to always think about, like, what's a twist that we can put on it and make it our own. So we had a maple pumpkin pie. We made a brown butter tahini chess pie. Have you ever had chess pie?
No.
I don't know how to describe it except to say it's like a nothing pie.
A nothing pie?
Yeah, it's got nothing in it. It's like what you make when you have nothing in your pantry.
Oh, okay.
The filling is like a custard made with butter, flour, like eggs. You know,
it's just that easy stuff.
It's like a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, it's whatever you have in the pantry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but we make it with tahini, which we make ourselves out of our toasted sesame seeds. So the sesame seeds that fall.
Such an interesting taste. taste.
Absolutely. It's like, it's nutty,
Yeah.
but you like don't know what it is because it's a flavor you're not used to.
It. You might not have ever had it in a pie form. So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
cool.
we had that. We made everything bagel dinner rolls.
Oh my gosh.
So we have these right here. Can you smell
I
that?
actually can't
Yeah,
smell
you don't even
them.
have to get too
Like
close.
the spices, like they're coming right through the bag. I can't take it.
And then we made these brioche dinner rolls.
Brioche dinner rolls.
Yep, so
okay.
brioche is like a buttery, pillowy bread. And we had all sorts of cookies and cakes at the shop.
Yeah.
And we did our regular bagels. People thinking about breakfast tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
you've
They
got
don't really
family in town.
Exactly.
They're sleeping over. You spent all day cooking, and you really
don't wanna
have to
cook.
make them breakfast, and you might
Yep.
not want to have turkey and gravy for breakfast. So
Yeah.
getting your bagels in the day before, very,
Exactly.
very smart for those people.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
they're
so
planning ahead.
we totally sold out by like 11, so we just sat there for the rest of the day waiting for the online order pickups.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we're super floored with all the support. We hope to do this again next year, bigger and better.
Yeah, absolutely. You can add things to the menu.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, we didn't actually touch
Oh.
upon these. What do we have here? These
These
look
are
like tasty
our
little
signature cookies.
Signature cookies.
Yeah, do you want to try one?
I do want to try one.
Okay, sweet. So these are halva and chocolate cookies.
Okay.
All right.
Halva and chocolate. I do
Yep.
love halva.
So halva is a sweet that we make again with tahini. So when we make our sesame bagels and we put them on our trays to sell, a lot of the seeds will fall off. And we started like keeping these seeds and we're like, oh my God, that is a lot of toasted sesame seeds. What do? We don't want to waste it. Again, we just don't like food waste. So then we started processing it into tahini. So basically you just grind it down like you're making peanut butter.
Wow.
And then out of that, we can make halva, which is just like a candy. You just
really
turn it
is.
into a candy.
It's sweet and like nutty and oh my
Yeah.
God. And these are just like the perfect texture
Exactly.
too.
Once you like break them up into chunks and you throw them into the cookie dough, it kind of melts into the cookie dough and it bakes. So it's just like nutty, gooey, creamy, tasty.
Everything that you want in a cookie.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
And then we roll them in sesame, drizzle them with some dark chocolate. You're good to go.
The rest is history.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, you do online orders.
Yes.
Is that the best way to do if you wanted to pick up ahead of time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we have online orders 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. On weekdays, you can actually place an order for immediate pickup. So you
Okay.
can say, you know, if you're leaving here and you want to eat your breakfast, you can
Yeah.
just put in your order from your phone. It'll be ready in 15 minutes. So then you show up to the store, go to our register, and say, hey, I'm Laura. I'm here to pick up my order.
Cool.
That's easy to
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Yeah,
and then
kind
on the weekends, you can order like, you know, for your brunch, for your family, that kind of thing. Like, we're always trying to figure out how to integrate technology into our business.
That's very smart.
Yep.
Yes, awesome. Well, I'm really excited for all the people that got their goods from you because you know,
Yes.
they're going to have a great spread for tomorrow or for the day after for breakfast.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to eat more of these cookies in these little rolls. They're just like so good. I can just like cut them open, put a little butter in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that's a great way to start the day.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you.
really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
To you as well.
And I know that if you're have your hands in the kitchen at all tomorrow, whatever you make has got to be good. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes, excellent. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our second guest.
Thank you.